What's going on, YouTube world? My name is Jason, aka Mr. Llama, the not-so-better half of The Lazy Llamas, which is the eBay store that I run with my wife, Mrs. Llama. A little bit about us. We have owned a gym for almost 9 years. That is our full-time business, and we started selling on eBay part-time about 3 years ago. And we grew our business from zero to over $10,000 a month in sales in less than 2 years. Now, the purpose of this video is a bit of a follow-up video to the last video I posted about Goodwill finds. That has been the most popular video that I've posted so far. It's gotten the most views and most likes, so the audience has spoken.
People have spoken!
So I will definitely try to post more videos like that in the future, because you really seem to like them. But first, if you can go and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, that does help us out. Also hit that notification bell, that will let you know when we post future videos. Okay, so I've listed 16 of my Goodwill finds from last weekend, and throughout the week, 8 of them have sold. Some of them sold within 48 hours of being listed. One of them sold within 4 hours of being listed.
That's fast. Wow.
So 16 items listed and 8 sold is a STR or sell-through rate of 50%, which isn't bad.
Not bad at all.
But this video is going to focus on the 8 items that did sell. We're going to go over the net sale of the item, which is not the list price. The net sale is the list price minus eBay fees. We're going to talk about the cost of goods, which is the investment I made into the product to sell. So that's the COG, my cost of good, the investment of the product. We'll have to take that out. And then we're going to talk about my net profit, which is when you take out eBay fees, the cost of the good, and also shipping, if shipping is built into the price, not buyer paid shipping. This would be a free shipping item. So if I had to deduct shipping out of the net sale, then we'll get to my net profit. So we're going to go over each individual item, net profit from each individual item, and we're even going to go over the total profit from all of the sales with the total investment of all of the items.
I'm with you so far. Go on.
And we're going to go over my ROI, which is return on investment, which is going to let you know what percentage you're making from your investment in these items. And lastly, we're going to cover the profit time ratio, which is, to me, the most important metric as to whether you are a successful eBay reseller. I actually went over the profit time ratio specifically in a video, and I will leave a link to that video at the end of this video. It's basically how much you're making per hour as an eBay seller.
Sounds important.
It's very, very important.
Okay, so the first item we're going to go over is a Sharp VCR. This is an item that I listed for sale for $40 plus shipping. Actually $39.88, and I can get into why I do 88 cents in a later video. Might be self-explanatory, but I listed it for $39.88 plus shipping, so we're not going to have to take shipping into account. After eBay fees, I made $35 roughly. We're going to round just so it's easier to do the math. $35 was the net sale on this product. I had a investment of $8, so I made a net profit on this item of $27. Okay, so that's this item, net profit, 27 bucks. The next item we're going to go over is these Merrell hiking shoes. Also featured these in the last video that I did. Merrell is a great shoe brand to look for. I listed these shoes for $49.88, roughly $50, free shipping. So we are going to have to deduct shipping from this to get to our net profit. So from that $49.88, after you take out eBay fees, roughly $44, minus it was about $11. Again, I'm rounding for shipping. After $11 shipping, that gets to a net sale of $33. Minus the $8 investment, I paid $8 for these shoes, leaves me with a net profit on this item of $25. The next item that sold was a PlayStation 4 Grand Theft Auto game.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Nah, I don't care.
This wasn't a ton of money I made on this. I listed it for $15.88, free shipping, so basically $16 free shipping. After eBay fees, it came out to $13.50. I do have to take shipping out because I did list this as a free shipping item. So the shipping on this was around $3.50, which leaves me with a net sale of $10 on this item, and I paid $5 for it. So there's a net profit on this for $5. Okay, the fourth item we're going to go over is another item that I featured in the last video, and that is Oster replacement blades for hair clippers. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name brand right. Oster.
Gibberish.
I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but I picked these up. It was a pack of 3 that I got for $8. I listed these at $24.88 individually. So I did a listing of $24.88 per replacement blade, and so I just put a quantity of 3 in the listing so they can just sell individually. Somebody could buy all 3 at one time if they wanted to, but so I put them up as a listing $24.88 individually, and like I said, I paid $8 for all 3. So we're just going to say I paid $3 for each of them, just round it up. Okay, so I got an offer for one of these at $22.50, which I accepted. After eBay fees, that left me with $19.50. I did list these as free shipping, so we had to take shipping out of that, roughly $3.50 to ship these. Leaves me with a net sale of $16. As I said, we're going to say I paid $3 for each of these, so we take $3, my cost of good, out of it, and that leaves me with a net profit of $13 for this item. Okay, the 5th item we're going to go over is an Xbox One controller, and this is what's considered an OEM, so it's like an original Microsoft brand Xbox One controller. Very rare to find these at a Goodwill, especially one in this good a condition. I didn't know if it worked. It had batteries in it. I tested it as far as like pressing the button and a light lit up. So I took a gamble on it for $5. And once I got back to the studio, I tested it and it worked perfectly. Woo-hoo! So I listed it for $27.88. After fees, it was $24.50. Taking out shipping, because I did listed this as free shipping. Shipping on this was around $4, which leaves me with a net sale of $20.50. I paid $5 for the item, so take out my cost of good. Leaves me with a net profit of $15.50. Item number 6, and I know we're going through these pretty quickly because I don't want to take up a lot of your time with this video, so we're going to go through them pretty quick. Item number 6 is also an item that I featured in the last video, and that is a Coca-Cola mini fridge. I listed the Coca-Cola fridge for $19.88 plus shipping, so we don't have to worry about taking shipping out of the equation here. So $19.88, basically $20 is what I listed it for. Sold for full price. After fees, it was a net of $17.50. Minus my investment, my cost of good of $5. I paid $5 for this, left me with a net profit of $12.50. The 7th item that sold is another item that was featured in the last video for Goodwill finds, was a brand new sealed Pictionary board game. Picked this item up, $3, listed it for $17.88, basically $18 plus shipping. So we don't have to take shipping into account when we get to our net profit. So I listed it for $17.88. I got an offer for $14. I countered at $16, and the buyer accepted and paid. So that $16 after eBay fees gets me down to $14 net sale. Subtract the $3 investment. I paid $3 for this item. Gets me to a net profit on this Pictionary board game of $11. And finally, the last item that sold from my Goodwill finds was the featured item from the last video, and that is the Dymo label printer that I found for $6. I listed this item for $39.88, free shipping, basically $140. After eBay fees, gets me down to $123, because this did sell for full price. So you take $140, subtract your eBay fees, leaves me with $123. Minus $10, it costs right at $10 to ship this item, leaves me with a net sale of $113. Minus my $6 cost of good investment, leaves me with a net profit on this item of $107. This was definitely the best find of last weekend. Almost 20 times my money I made back on this. So this $6 investment led me to a profit of $107. Okay, to sum up, and this is going to get a little bit into the weeds as far as your numbers, but these are things that you need to know if you're going to be a successful eBay reseller.
I'm here to learn.
Okay, so first, total net sales. That means after eBay fees, like total net sales was $259. Minus my total investment of cost of goods was $43, which left us with a net total profit of $216. Now, I could leave it there, but I'm going to get a little bit more into the weeds.
Well, there's no turning back now.
This trip, which I went to 3 different Goodwills on this day, cost me about $20 in gas. I purchased 30 items, just rounded around 30 items is what I purchased as far as items I'm going to list on eBay. So if I take that $20 in gas and divide it across all of those 30 items, that leaves me with 67 cents in gas expense per item. So roughly for these 8 items, we're going to call it $5. So it cost me $5 in gas for these items. So you subtract the $5 in gas from that 216 net profit, leaves me with a real net profit of $211. So the next thing you want to find out from that $211 profit is what your return on investment is, or ROI. That's something you'll hear a lot when you're doing a resale business, because you're going to be investing into products, items that you want to resell on eBay, and you want to know what your return on investment is. So in order to calculate your return on investment, you're going to take your net profit and divide it by your investment. So in this case, we're going to take the $211 and we're going to divide that by $43, which was our cost of goods. And you're going to take that number and multiply that by 10, which is going to give you a return on investment of over 450%. Now, that's a ridiculous return on investment. And I'm going to tell you that thrifting and yard sales and Goodwill should get you a return on investment like this, because you're buying items for so cheap and you're selling them for sometimes 4 or 5, even more times what you paid for it. So your return on investment is going to be really high, or at least it should be, for thrift store items, yard sale items, and Goodwill items. Now, the stuff I do wholesale and buy in bulk, my ROI is not going to be this high. Like, say, for instance, I get a lot of video games and video game consoles for $700. And my net sales from selling everything gets me $1,000, which leaves me a net profit of $300. So I made a net profit of $300 from an investment of $700, which leaves me an ROI of 43%.
Should I be writing this down?
So that's good. I'm okay with that. I don't like anything under 25%. I think they say anything over 10 is good, but to me, like, as an eBay reseller, if I know I'm not going to get anything more than 20, like, if I'm not going to make at least 25% ROI, I normally will pass on an item or a bulk purchase. And of course, this can vary. If it was like a single item for like $1,000, and I knew it was going to sell very quickly and I was going to make, after everything, make $100 off of it. So that's like a 10% ROI. But I knew it was going to sell like within a day or two, and it wasn't going to take a lot of time to list it and get it shipped. I might do that. But as a rule, for the most part, I want at least a 25% return on investment. Okay, so finally we're going to get really into the weeds.
Are we lost?
Now we're going to talk about your profit-time ratio. And to me, this is the most important metric in figuring out whether or not you're a successful eBay reseller. Now, the profit-time ratio is basically the profit you've made divided by the time it took you to make that profit. Basically, it's your hourly wage. First, I have to figure out my time per item. And to do this, I have to look at 3 factors. One is sourcing and drive time. This is how long it took me to go out and get the items. 2, listing the items, which means how long it takes me to list the item on eBay. And 3, shipping the items, which is how long it takes me to package and ship the item. This Goodwill trip took 4 hours. I visited 3 different Goodwills and I purchased 30 items. So we're going to take that 4 hours and we're going to convert that into minutes by multiplying by 60. And that's going to give us a total of 240 minutes. Now we're going to divide that 240 minutes by the 30 items, and that's going to give us an average of 8 minutes per item. Now, the second factor I said was listing. Now, I'm just going to do an average. It probably takes me an average of 5 minutes to list an item. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. But basically, we're going to say an average of 5 minutes. And the third thing we look at is shipping. And again, I'm going to say an average of 5 minutes to package an item, print the label, per item. So we're going to look at 8 minutes per item sourcing, drive time, 5 minutes per item as far as listing, and 5 minutes per item as far as shipping. So if you take 5 and 5 and 8, it's going to give you a total of 18 minutes per item. So we're going to take that 18 minutes and we're going to multiply that by the 8 items that sold. And that's going to give us a total of 144 minutes, or 2.4 hours, that I put into these 8 items. So now we're going to take our net profit of $211 and we're going to divide it by the 2.4 hours, which is going to give us a total dollar per hour of $88 per hour.
Math, 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 math.
Now this is high. It's much higher than normal. But again, with Goodwill items and thrift store items and yard sale items, your profit time ratio is going to be much higher than with other items. Now, my typical profit time ratio is between $30 and $40 an hour. That's where I like to be. But like I said, with these items, it's a little higher. As the other items sell, that $88 an hour will come down a little bit. But as an average, as long as I'm around that $30 to $40 an hour range, I'm okay with that. I think we're going to end the video there. I hope you found it informative and helpful, or hopefully you just enjoyed it. But make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can see when we post future videos. And in case you don't know, God loves you, I love you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.